No one remembers their harmonies, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone does not.
It's a podcast from Steam. Powered Giraffe. It's the Bennettarium. It's really high. Something about Michael reads Mike don't work on the Bennettarium podcast down. Bennettarium. I can't get it. Everyone's just hitting my melody. Everyone forgot their harmonies on the Bennettarium.
I don't know if it's supposed to be sung that high.
No, you're right. I put it in the wrong key.
I was like...
So how about we put in the right key and we won't sing all your parts, son? I'm kidding.
Wait a minute. If we change the key, harmonies
We gotta
shouldn't be
like
too
cut.
hard.
We gotta cut this. We gotta do it again and cut that part out, and it'll look like we're like professional musicians.
You should go through and arrange the harmonies and then let people see what that process is like.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Yeah,
That's what they really want.
David.
Wait, does anyone remember what key it is? Because I don't know.
know.
Bring it to one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, try it.
But that's not where. It's definitely on 2 or 3 or 4.
Because what are you singing? What are you singing?
You know,
Bennettarium.
it's a podcast from Steam. Powered Giraffe. It's the Bennettarium. Okay, someone's stealing a little of my harmonies there.
I don't remember what mine used to be.
No, we're gonna work through it because that's what's interesting now apparently. Okay.
Bennettarium.
Okay, that's good.
Bennettarium.
That's the melody.
That's the melody. Oh,
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for the
Well, yeah. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, you're just checking, right?
Yeah. Just all right. Cool. So I'm doing something different.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh.
You're gonna go high. You're gonna go high, right?
Cool. Wait, I'll do it in the beginning,
That's cool.
and we'll loop it.
Yeah.
We'll loop it.
All right, go.
1, 2, 3. It's a podcast from Steam. Powered Giraffe. It's the Bennettarium. Whoa. Michael reads microphone don't work on the Engineer-eteers stream today, but it does on the regular podcast on the Bennettarium.
Oh boy.
It's the Bennettarium.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Okay, we should do that again 3 more times.
What?
Yeah, at least two
How
more
about we do an
times.
acapella version?
No.
Wait, why 3 more times?
Oh, the mic stand's all the way over there.
I think it was a joke.
Oh.
Cut it out.
I mean, it wasn't. I was feeling everyone out. If it wasn't, we could have.
No.
All right, well, welcome to the Bennettarium. I am the special guest on this podcast that you guys do. Sometimes I show up every couple of months.
Well, welcome.
So,
It's good to have you.
no,
Bennettarium podcast.
the joke being that I don't do this often.
David's gone. Someone
Okay.
introduce him.
So let's introduce ourselves.
I'm David Michael Bennett. I'll play the spine. That's my impression of you. That's my impression of you. It's good.
Your spine
Let's
sounds
all
like
be
a
David
ghost.
Michael
The
Bennett.
spine. Hey, that's what he sounds like to me all the time. Hey, Zero.
Shine bright like
The
a diamond.
Oh,
And
spooky.
my name is David Michael Bennett, and I play the spine.
Did you know that about yourself? You sound like a ghost.
I do now.
That was right.
That's how you know you're
let's take it
cool.
from let's take it from green shirt on the end, not that green shirt, but this green
That's
shirt.
a much better color green.
I like yours better.
Yours
It's
is
cooler.
like,
Whoa.
this is like Christmas.
Wait, which
green.
one's which?
I don't
Which
like
one am I
it. This is
looking
more
at?
like a teal almost.
It is
It's
almost
more-
like a
it's
mirror.
It's closer to teal.
We're sharing a mic over here, just so you guys know. But
Oh.
my name is Michael Reed. Hey, I'm getting more volume
Technically,
here.
you're picking up on both microphones. So maybe we should just unplug one of those microphones
Okay.
because now we're gonna have double mics.
Okay, here I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah, we couldn't get the.
We already have double
couldn't
mics.
get
There's
the
one
fifth
mic over
mic.
here. There's one mic over here. There's double. We got double mics.
Double mics.
Let's switch.
It does kind of if you blur your eyes, it looks like they're just like reflections.
Yeah. Wait,
We both have the same amount of hair in our
no,
head.
wait,
No,
now,
I mean, I'm
now,
just saying,
Now play
like-
the mirror game. Like you're you're the same person. Oh, left hand's going up first.
What?
Oh my God, they're the same person. Look, they're the same person. Oh, it's a magic.
I mean, their physiques are kind of the same. I mean, if you've seen one white man, you've seen them all.
We are both white. That's pretty much where the similarities start and end. though.
Yeah, it's good enough for me.
We still
Did
haven't
we
introduced
introduce
ourselves
ourselves?
properly.
Okay.
My name is Michael Reed.
My name is Brian Barberin.
My name is Isabella Bunny Bennett.
My name is Chelsea Penyak.
My name is David Michael Bennett.
We've never done
Wait.
that kind of intro before.
We
where
usually say
don't
like
say
what
who
characters
play.
we play.
Oh yeah, I play Zero.
I play Rufus, the charming hobo,
Hey, don't give away the new characters yet. Right?
and Rabbit the robot. Sorry, I was supposed to do we're supposed to do like the voices, right?
Okay, let's do it again. We
Do it
already
better.
had to do the song again. We'll do the intro again.
And then we'll talk about things
Right, we got to do our
twice,
character
too.
voices.
My name's David Michael Bennett, and I play the Spine in Steam Powered Giraffe.
My name is Chelsea Penyak, and I play a Walter worker with Steam Powered Giraffe. I don't have a voice, a character voice.
Oh. My name's Isabella Bunny Bennett, and I play Rabbit in Steam Powered Giraffe.
My name is Brian Barber, and I play Zero.
Yeah.
My name's Michael Reed, and I play Michael Reed.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
Bueno.
Okay, so last time on the Bennettarium, it was a month ago.
And you guys were reflecting about that show that you guys did.
Yeah, you weren't here
In January.
So-
we
so
it was
talked about
We were
amazing.
how-
reflecting on the 10-year anniversary show that we did in January and March.
Hey,
It was at the end of
There's been a
January.
lot
so, you
going
know.
on.
Yeah, we had to make it. I say we. I mean,
You?
I had a little bit of help.
Did you?
well,
Did you make it? Yeah, but remember when that one time I came over and like, oh wait, no, that wasn't the thing. Well, thanks, David.
Anyways, so yeah, we've been busy.
We
but,
did talk about how we were gonna let Bunny.
So
reflect on
now
it
that it's
because she
been
missed
so
the
long,
last one.
give us your thoughts on the 10-year anniversary show.
3 months later.
Gosh, I mean, I watched a little bit of it, and it's
I
hard to
still haven't
watch.
watched
Like, I feel like, I mean, all I have is critiques. So maybe I
Okay,
should
so it
leave
was a
this.
great show and well received, and everyone loved it. But
I'm just saying, it was great. There was just a lot going on. I'll leave it at that. Like, I feel like I would like something a little less meta. Obviously, it's
yeah. It's definitely a show for Steam Powered Giraffe fans.
It was there was a lot of factors involved, and it didn't go as it didn't go as smoothly as one would hope. But hopefully, people didn't see that. I mean, but I really enjoyed the nostalgia and you know it was fun hanging out with all the previous
Yeah.
band members.
Yeah, it was a good.
Those are my
night.
thoughts.
Speaking of
pass.
the 10-year anniversary show, it's now available digital video
Physical.
and on Blu-ray DVD combo. You can grab that from our website. It's going to be on Amazon. What do they call it now? It's called Prime Video, I think is what they're touting it as. And so you can buy it there. You can buy it on Vimeo. You can buy it directly on our website. It all has the same content.
But the physical Blu-ray is available only from our store.
Yeah, from our store. So go and buy that if you if you don't think physical media is dead, like I do. But you know, plenty of people don't. So
It does look
go-
cool.
Yeah,
It
no,
is.
it's a good.
It's really nice.
Yeah, is that all we want to talk about 10-year anniversary show?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it for quite a bit leading up to, and then we reflected on it last time. Yeah, the Blu-ray is new, so that's like the newest thing we would want to advertise. And
Yeah,
talk about,
we'll be
but-
taking that to any shows we do.
Oh,
So
yeah,
if
yeah.
If you're wondering,
Yeah.
we get. I've
That-
seen a few questions online about that.
Yeah, and that leads into, I guess, our
And
our
now that that's in the
news.
past,
Yeah.
what are we
What about
doing
the
in the
future?
future?
Well, yeah.
So like, what about the 20-year anniversary? Like, what is
Well,
like?
I don't know
We
about
gotta
that.
start
So, like-
planning for that
So
already.
like, we added steamers. Like, is there like flamethrowers? Like something like that. Like, what's like the
Oh.
technology that you would like to add? Like, what's a really cool like gadget that you would like to create?
A
Or like
machine
create, but
that,
haven't
that
created.
just makes legal money for me.
Whoa!
Put that on stage.
So the 20-year anniversary, that's what it's gonna be.
Oh, even better, one that legally electronically generates money into my bank
Yeah, just
account.
keeps putting it in there. That's all the show's about. Is just like you getting money.
Wait, it's called Bitcoin farming, and it's the hottest craze.
we wheel out a big rack full of GPUs, and people just that's our show is people just watch them farm.
Yeah, you got a little digital rake. Yeah,
Is that,
no.
like, I don't know.
And
Should
all
I get
these
in on this?
Bitcoins,
Should everyone
No.
be farming Bitcoin?
No, it's
No.
over. It's over. You had your
No.
chance. It was last year.
No, get in. It's all right.
No, it's already
Yeah,
dropped.
put some more money
Yeah,
into
yeah.
it. It'll be fine.
It'll
There's lots
just
of
fine.
there's lots of digital currencies like that kind of
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like
You gotta-
Dogecoin.
You will watch.
You gotta
the-
spread your seed far and wide amongst the
Okay,
internet.
so
Then maybe you'll get
until-
some returns.
Until I watched the John Oliver episode about cryptocurrencies and he talked about Dogecoin, I've been saying Doge wrong for all these years. I thought it was Doge.
Doug?
like dog.
Like dog.
Like
dog?
I never thought to pronounce the G that way because dog
alright.
is.
I don't-
like,
I wouldn't-
I always
I
said
wouldn't think that
dog,
either.
and then all of a sudden, like I realized other people were like saying doge.
That's
and I was
like anyone who
oh my
reads
gosh.
books and never has
It's like-
pronounced the words, only read them.
It's like the cave metaphor. My whole
That's me.
perspective on life has
Who
changed.
the hell is Frodo?
It's
I've been
Doge.
calling him Frudo the whole time.
Frito, no.
You mean Frudu? Because if you had the O and you're saying your ooze is ooze, then all of his whole name would be.
Hermione. I had no idea.
Hermione.
I was like,
Hermione.
Yeah, Hermione.
Hermione.
Oh, and then Hermione,
Yeah.
she's the smart one. Hermione, she's such a good character.
She actually had to like.
Who is
Yeah.
this Hermione?
Not till like 6 years later when they made the movie. They're like, oh, Hermione. I was like, oh yeah.
No, she
what
actually
her
like
name
put a
is.
scene in the fourth book where Hermione's like frustratingly teaching someone how to say her name
Oh yeah.
because like
Oh yeah. Okay,
all the
yeah.
readers were saying it wrong.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
Speaking of Harry
Hermione.
Potter, that sequel to, what was it
Yeah.
called?
Fantastic
Sequel to the
Beasts
sequel?
looks pretty cool.
I liked Fantastic Beasts. If we probably
I liked,
liked
I liked it, but
Sequel
you know what I
instead.
liked better? And then like his story was like the story between what's his face, the guy who's the muggle,
Yeah.
and like the
Oh yeah,
and
I mean, he was the
Goldie or
best
whatever.
part.
Yeah, they were the best
Those were
part.
the
He
best.
was
Like him-
he's so Dan Fogarty. He's a Broadway cat. He's awesome, and he has so much heart in that.
It looks like
Yeah.
he's coming back for this second, which
Yeah,
doesn't
he
make
should.
any sense.
It doesn't make
Like-
any sense at all. Doesn't make
I
any
guess because
sense.
people just liked him so much.
Yeah,
He was like the
best-
breakout character. And,
Like,
like
at
I was
the
like,
end-
can I just like watch a movie about him?
Yeah,
Like, I don't
yeah.
care about any of the other
Agent
people.
K, we
good.
need you back in the Men in Black. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
We can't do it without Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah. I was like, just let him garden or whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
Like, don't bring him.
Whoa,
back
wait.
in.
So my brother has a really cool story about Tommy Lee Jones. Have I ever told you guys this?
No.
Okay, so he was working in Texas at some restaurant. Maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. I'm afraid that Tommy Lee Jones is gonna find me, and like, but it's not really that bad.
Might
But
take
like,
you out.
so like Tommy Lee Jones is in there, and my brother's been cool about it. You know, he's like, he's working in a restaurant. He doesn't want to bother him. But he's back there, and he asks him for a pen. He gives him a pen, and he's on like the placemat or the napkin, and he's drawing out this map. Right, he's drawing out this map, and then he takes out a knife and like cuts it out and gives the pen back to my brother, and then like gives it to the other guy. And I was like, did you get the map? Like, did you take a picture of the map? Because whatever that was the goal. That was like that was what you needed to get in life. Like whatever Tommy Lee Jones just drew a map up to is what
Oh
your
my
life was all
God.
about.
I mean-
and he's like, no, I didn't even think about that. Like, why would you not think about that map?
I know what it was.
Memorized it immediately.
I know what it was. It was Tommy Lee Jones not understanding like smartphones, and he was just
Oh, he was just writing.
He
he was drawing a map how to get
He's like,
to.
you
Yeah.
can use Google Maps. Like, no, let me just draw. There'll be a 7-Eleven here. All right?
Now see, isn't that so
Right.
much easier? I don't know what he sounds like, but I'm gonna do it so
sound
that
It's
old
funny,
like
but
a-
that's exactly what my grandparents would do. It's
so
like
much easier than
handwrite
using all that
directions,
fancy
yeah.
technology.
Yeah.
I mean, one of these days, smartphones will be obsolete, and people are like, why aren't you just thinking your text messages? Everyone does it.
I can't think that good.
I need to use my
boy-
VR headset to do that.
The boy who don't think right.
Are we going back to VR? Is that this VR podcast?
No, wait. We still haven't talked about all the steam powered draft stuff. We're supposed to
yeah.
talk about the future. Somehow we got into. Well,
The future. Tommy Lee Jones is the future.
so we have a few shows coming up.
Yes.
The first one is going to be at the Irwindale Renaissance Pleasure Fair,
April 21st.
That's a Saturday.
I think our show's at 6.
6 p.m. I believe.
6 p.m. 6 p.m.
So admission to that show is just included if you go into the fair. So
Yeah.
What's the name of that day again?
that's the RenCon weekend, which means you'll see a lot of people dressed as anime characters with maybe Renaissance spin to them
Is
sometimes.
this Saturday?
Saturday, April 21st. We did it last year, and
That's in California.
last year's Irwindale was the premiere of Lying Awake.
Ah.
Very true.
And Mike will be there too
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
on stage,
Totally.
With us.
and we'll be doing some a different set than last year. It's been a year, so we'll do Lying Awake.
Maybe. If I feel like it.
Do it in Old English. Though.
Oh.
Lie thy awake. You have been there before.
That'll be fun.
We have another show we haven't announced yet, but we'll be announcing it officially Monday.
Oh yeah. This is the soft opening, the soft announcement.
All the details will be Monday. But we have a show in Denver, Colorado at the Paramount Theater.
Woo!
Denver, Colorado, Paramount Theater.
That day is July.
No.
Isn't it June?
No. Yeah, Saturday, June 16th. Just let me handle this.
Don't think about that July. It's definitely not July.
Denver is going to be June 16th, which is Saturday.
Yay, the J month. I got them confused.
Why
It's
don't
gonna
you
be
just
beautiful in Denver
think in
in
your
June.
dates to...
Well, here's the thing: is like, I was the primary
Stop
contact
remembering
person,
things.
but
Yeah.
it goes in. I only hold it on for so long, and then something else comes into my head.
So our first show in Colorado?
Yes.
Yes, first show in Denver, Colorado. So we haven't ever been to the area before.
Yeah.
And if you're nearby, that's a good spot to congregate and tell everyone in the states nearby,
Yes.
Colorado.
It's a big theater, so we are
Spread the
going to need
word.
to sell them tickets.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Tell your
sites in
friends.
Denver.
Oh, there is. Like, Denver's beautiful. Boulder, Colorado. Wait, Denver. Denver, Colorado's beautiful as well, but Boulder, Colorado's like a couple miles down. Right? And it's really, really beautiful. And they got foxes, and like last time I was there was a bear. Like I saw a
But
bear
in Denver, Colorado, they
in
got...
the middle of a city. And Denver,
They
they got Denver omelets. And that's pretty much it. They got Denver omelets.
Well,
Those
we got
Denver
those
omelets are
here.
so good. Yeah, but you had a Denver omelet in Denver because they really,
What
really
about,
care about the
I don't
omelets.
They have
know
a
if this is like
baseball
a
team,
bit or
right?
not, but I need to get an omelet now.
Yeah,
when
we're
there.
totally getting an
Okay,
omelet. Yeah,
okay.
of course
We could
are.
watch the Denver Broncos. They're
No,
the baseball team
No,
there.
no, we can't. It's not Denver Broncos season. It's rabbit season. All right, we know Broncos going on there, but Denver's a cool city.
So we have a show there,
Omelets.
and
There's
Omelet.
some Denver guy
It's a
like
big
ringing his
theater.
fingers like, I'm going to go to that show just to tell him what for.
Omelette du fromage.
it's a pretty well-known theater. I mean,
yeah.
big acts go through. Way bigger than us. We shouldn't even be
Who's
there.
performed there?
We shouldn't be
Weird
there.
Al.
Lots of he's
Weird
gonna,
Al's gonna be there the
he's-
week before.
I
Yeah.
know a few weeks before. Not
So if we lick
Oh.
the stage, his talent
He'll be
will-
there.
but then you'll
Yeah.
get Hannibal
His sweat.
Burgess or whatever
Yeah.
is there
Oh,
before
yeah,
us
I love
too.
him.
There's also
Yeah, on the ground.
what's the clown guy? The
Puddles.
Puddles Pity
Oh,
Party.
the
He's
insane
there.
clown posse.
Yeah, them.
It's like every big act that's going through goes through the Paramount
yeah,
Theater.
I'm excited.
And Steam Powered Giraffe will be there.
Oh.
So, but yeah,
we can tweet Weird Al, and he'll tweet back to us, and then we'll be best friends forever.
sure that'll happen.
It'll totally happen. He'll be like, he's going to the Paramount Theater too? We must be best friends. That's what he sounds like.
Let me just teach you something.
Oh, hey, it's me, Weird Al. yeah, this is Cheap Out Drive. This sounds amazing. Yeah, you should write a song about them.
A healthy,
Oh
Here I
my
am.
gosh. Wait.
Yeah, go to Albuquerque.
If Weird Al was going to parody one of your songs, which one
Oh.
which would you want it to be?
I mean, it would probably be one that was
Like a popular one.
so honeybee. I
Anyone
guess.
else?
Honeybee.
we're already a joke band, so it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. Like you don't take a comedy act, a band, and then try to make fun
No,
of it.
can we just live in this alternate universe for just a second?
Anyways,
We're friends with
a
Weird Al.
healthy dose of pessimism.
So
Pessimism?
honeybee would
Is
be
that-
like
is that how you say
like
it?
Is that what you-
honeycomb or
Is that what you've
honeycomb?
been eating for breakfast? Pessimism? Because that's not a good cereal.
Pessimism.
Pessimism.
It sounds like not like a word, right?
Pessimism.
Like pesticides?
Anyways,
Anyways,
So
Weird Al's there.
don't be an optimist. That's all I'm saying.
Lick
So
the
there's
stage.
so when you say a few shows, was it two?
what?
But we have a few shows that are coming up.
That we
Two?
can announce. Yes.
Yeah, we have two.
Irwindale.
We'll have other
Denver.
shows. We have
More to
Anime
come.
Midwest is the other one that.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that a
are
few though,
doing.
or it seems more like a duo? We have a duo of shows.
No, we have three, though. That's three.
A
That's
few, a few is more than one, I guess. Well, we can look it up on the dictionary.
No,
A pair of shows.
A pair of shows is two.
A pair sounds like
few
they're
is
close
three
together
or more.
something.
I
They're
think
about
a few is
They're
three
about
or
a
more.
month and
Pairs
a
are
half apart.
delicious.
Is several like I always thought that several was meant seven,
No,
but it's
several
several.
can mean five.
Several,
It can mean
yeah.
five. That's
Several
so
does not mean
stupid.
seven. That's
several can mean like two or three,
seven
right?
and above. That's what several should be.
It doesn't.
All right?
But can it mean two?
I
We
don't
have
see why
several
not.
shows.
Several sounds like more than two.
It sounds like one of those wild cats.
Sounds like more than
What am I thinking of?
3 or more.
I would say 3 or more.
Because one or the
Serval?
other, then you would just say that. You have two options.
Yeah.
No one says you have several options, which would be 3.
But that's really funny. Like if you did that. Like,
What if we have
several
infinite
and you just give them
options?
two, or you just give
What
them
if we
one
have
option?
infinite numbers of shows coming up? What would we say then?
Well, technically we do because it's an unknown.
Yeah.
That's true. We always have more than
We
two
could be
shows.
playing in your city tonight.
No,
We're not going to be, but we could be. We could be. Whoa!
I mean it's
Oh,
it's
the
almost
spy.
night for some people.
The spine, I'm coming for you.
Are
It's
those
nighttime
tickets on
now.
The tickets will be on sale Monday, and more information. But we will have VIP tickets, so you'll be able to watch sound check.
You'll get one exclusive merch item we usually do that for VIPs. So you walk away with it's going to be a VIP badge.
There will be VIP badges.
And then you get like first dibs in the autograph line and all.
First dibs on the autograph line.
And a solid high five from this guy right here.
Solid high five.
Oh yeah, and the
yeah.
seating's better for the VIPs too if you want to be in the first
0.
7-8 rows or something.
Yeah.
So there you go. It'll
more
be
info very soon.
It'll be a fun show. Yep.
Tickets go on sale Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So look for that announcement unless you're watching.
If you're watching this on Monday, it's going to be really confusing.
Listening, most people listen. There's only like 10 people that watch on the Engineer-eteers.
Or listen, yeah. Well, technically, if you listen on YouTube, you're kind of watching.
I guess, we should say the date
Yeah.
of Monday so it helps people. Is that the 9th?
This is
They go on sale on the 9th.
Okay, yeah.
the 9th,
Of
which is
April.
the
April
9th. Monday, April 9th, 2018.
More info on Denver show then.
And
Someone's listening to this in like 2021 and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, they didn't know that the giant cockroaches were going to take over the world.
No.
They didn't know back then.
Oh,
That's
no.
the date of the cockroaches take over.
And that show that they did was awful. No one went. There's one guy.
no.
I mean, if there's 2 people in the audience, we're still going to do the show.
I mean,
There's a non-refundable deposit on the theater.
the cockroaches were the bigger thing to say, but still, that show was terrible.
No, to be fair, if only 2 people showed up and we saw the ticket sales and there were only 2 people, we would cancel the show because it'd be cheaper to lose the deposit
What if it was
than it
what
would
if those
to
2
do a
people
show
bought
and-
out the
yeah.
entire theater just so they
Well,
could
then
have
we would
their
do it.
Oh.
private
It's about
concert.
covering costs. It's not about
Everyone
it's not
buy
about
at
making
least
money.
5 seats
Yeah.
when you order your tickets, even if you're not going to use them. You don't want to be next to strangers, so
Yeah.
everyone needs a bubble around.
And plus, it's a pretty big theater, so
There'll
you
be
know,
5 people in
wanna
the
spread
theater,
yourself out.
but,
With like a tent.
but it's sold out.
Oh my gosh.
So everyone has a bubble
Just
around
like a bunch
them.
of shanty towns. Got a hot plate over here cooking bacon and baked beans.
It's only about a 2-hour show, hour and a half. So you don't have to
So
you don't have to camp out too long.
Bring your hot plate.
But if you get the VIP tickets, you get to sit on that sound check for an hour, and then you get to be in the theater.
We're gonna have a lot of fun. Hopefully, it's not snowing
I'm
in
excited.
June.
Oh, no.
It might. The weather's crazy these days, man. June
I know.
might be snow. Who
Never
knows,
know.
man?
Might be
These
July.
You know, it's actually
changing days.
It's snowing at PAX East, wherever that is.
What?
I
What
don't
is
know
that?
where that is.
Why do you know that?
Because I have friends that went to PAX East, and they're saying it's
Is it
snowing. I don't know where it is though. Where's PAX East?
Why do you know Martin Luther King?
I
was
mean,
at
I'm
your,
assuming
wait,
it's
that's a
in
different
the
story.
east
Are
somewhere.
you talking about?
Is it New York?
That was not.
I
We didn't
don't
talk
know.
Maybe
about
it's
it
New
on the podcast.
York.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. We don't talk
There's a lot of. There's a lot.
That's
of
really random that you bring that up.
Someone in the
I'm
chat
kidding, we totally did talk about
is
it.
like,
But it wasn't my
typing
podcast.
furious.
It was my haircut.
PAX East
Oh,
is
yeah.
in the you should have. We're having 2 separate conversations.
Yeah, so
Yeah, sorry.
So
Good
sorry.
luck.
How many
audience.
people were
What
listening to
happened?
Chelsea and I, and how many people
What?
were listening to
It's
David
reading
and Brian?
out.
Mike,
it's-
Mike left and
Who's
everything
reading out?
descended to
I'm gonna-
chaos.
Everyone's running out.
I'm gonna lower the volume. When I was
Oh.
messing with it, trying to get the 5th
Oh.
one out, this is only Engineer-eteers.
Well, that's like
so.
before we started, David asked us to talk into the mics
Yeah,
to
yeah.
test them. And we just all at once just started like
yeah,
manically.
but like
We're
that's
like,
exactly what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it
okay.
was helpful.
I think it's in Boston.
Boston.
Yeah, someone.
Texas.
I got a picture.
Whoa! It is snowing.
Yeah, it would
That
be in
is
Boston.
snow. Hey, they're Ghostbusters.
Are they?
Yeah, there's a Ghostbuster right there. How do you not see that Ghostbuster?
Oh, it is.
I see the
Oh,
Ghostbuster
wow.
in a
Wow.
long while.
What's this white stuff falling from the sky?
Hey, what's up with it's tax day coming up? You guys do your taxes?
I haven't yet. I'm really
Taxes.
lagging.
Me neither. Who's got a tax person who wants to do my taxes?
we have a
I don't.
CPA
I
and they
do
usually
it
do it because we have
myself.
K1 since we were owners of a company.
Yeah,
I just have to devote a day to begrudgingly sit down and do it all.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, adjusted the level so now we can get a little now.
You get crazy.
No, it doesn't mean you can get louder than
so-
you were before.
It's turning red again. It's turning red.
Yeah, that's because I was being loud though.
Yeah.
We should move a discussion to what is our coffee order after this show?
Yeah, I'm taking coffee orders.
So we're
I need my own podcast where we only talk about things that I like.
we're doing
So you talk about like one thing?
I mean,
you're
not wrong.
This is David Michael Bell. This is where we talk about the lock on my door.
It keeps people out, and I mean,
Lights automatically.
I could have a conversation with it.
Yeah, we can talk
Technology
about
That
it.
was
Podcast.
me. I was doing a
It is.
perfect David. Well, I mean, that was more like was mine.
I'm not gonna lie, it is one of my favorite features of your house. Because like
The
sometimes
automatic
it
lock.
scares me. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, I
it's
thought it was
just
a
the-
joke.
It's just the
I
lock.
thought it was a joke about just like keeping everything.
Oh.
out.
I mean, that's funnier too.
It's both.
No,
it's both.
you didn't think about that when you were saying it.
I did.
So-
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I was like, damn, burn. So we're actually gonna after this we're gonna what would you call it? Like we're gonna sprint through a new project that we're working on. I like the word sprint.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have used that word.
What word would you have?
I don't know. Come listen to my podcast and find out.
You can if you just want to talk to yourself on the David podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the
What
David
would
Michael.
you, what would
The
you call
David
it?
podcast.
This is the Dave Michael Bennett concert.
gives a
This is where I.
The lock on my
This is
door.
where I list all the words that I like.
That sounds like I'm like a paranoid, afraid of people coming into my house.
Well, I don't know.
No, it would be better is the curtains on my window.
You're right. That would have been better.
I don't know. So yes, we have a new project, but let's take the coffee orders for said project before
Yeah,
we
we
explain
can
the
break
project.
new ground and live on this podcast.
gonna
I can
need
take
some
a
coffee.
coffee order.
I'm just gonna glare to the
Bunny,
camera every
what do you
single time.
want?
I don't
Can
agree
I
with the rest of the table.
God,
going to
Hot?
Starbucks.
Do I want hot or cold?
It's a big decision.
Like, is there a benefit? Like, is it more caffeine if it's cold?
I
or
don't
hot?
like
would
hot
probably be
drinks.
the-
I always go iced. Even in the dead of winter,
can
I'll
I get
drink
a-
an iced coffee.
Can I do like a venti? Is a venti the big size?
Yeah.
A venti iced
Iced.
vanilla
Someone out
latte?
there is on my side.
Venti
so
iced
I'm their
vanilla
best friend
latte.
right now in this
Any
video.
other adjustments?
I don't
or
think so.
Milk alternatives?
I think
or
you're.
No.
I think
Okay.
you're just
Okay.
looking at yourself.
Venti iced
and,
There's
vanilla
one person
latte.
out there that doesn't like coffee as
No.
much as I do.
They
Why not
love
just
it.
let people like what they like?
Yeah.
Everyone's different.
Because it's
Yeah.
funny. It's funny if I'm the only person that doesn't.
No, I don't think so. I think it's.
There's a thing called tolerance, and
Wait, in
Oh,
real
so-
life, do I ever make someone feel bad for liking coffee?
Yes,
all the
David.
time.
David, the first time I met you, I was like, I need a cup of coffee. You're like, oh, what a weak individual needing coffee. Oh, you weakling, baby, baby. Oh, crack, crack.
Never said that.
Baby, baby,
Some of
baby.
us
Oh,
like the
boo.
taste.
I never.
I think I remember doing
Crack, 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 crack.
I did it all.
and then Brian was crying.
Oh, yeah. I just want a little bit. I've been working real hard. And I get a little tired. You're like, oh, boo, let me lick your tears.
Yeah, that's how it happened.
No, I didn't. I didn't ever do that.
Made me feel terrible. I felt
And then it was at the airport, remember? And then and the pilots like got,
yeah, they gave me a wing because you were so mean. You go, you want to sit on my lap while you drive? I was like, yeah, I do. I'll drive the plane with you. And then I got my wings, and I still got them to this day.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore on airplanes.
They do too.
No, they don't.
I let them. He let me park. He let me park the plane.
If someone makes you cry, for
give you
wanting
wings.
coffee.
They would have done that when you were boarding the plane, but only in the 90s. Not anymore.
they do it. They give you wings.
Why
They do
not?
give you wings now. Why are you crying?
I'm coughing because I was laughing.
So Brian, what's your order?
I have an order of David Michael Bennett's tears. I don't know. What you going to Starbucks?
Yeah.
All right, I'll have a coffee.
All right.
Why not that mom and pop place down the street?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be negative the whole.
Is it? Is
Well,
it-
it's
is
because
it good?
like, yeah, the
But
the
nobody
one I
knows what
go
it
to.
is. No?
Well,
Tastes like coffee
you'd
to
have to
me.
pull up the menu and stuff. Like
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
Starbucks is easy because you
I'll
can
just
just
take
tell me
a-
what you want.
Not a venti, but like the
Grande?
grande coffee. Just black,
Grande,
roasty.
I'm
coffee.
trying not to judge.
just
but
a
it's so
grande
easy.
house coffee, hot.
Yeah,
Well,
just.
You want
Hey,
anything
look,
in it?
Look, David, you don't have to. Look, I just want a
I
little
don't
bit of
judge
coffee.
anyone.
Look, you're judging me right now.
Yeah, it's funny.
You can't wait to. I just want just one roasted coffee.
Just one roasted coffee,
Yeah,
nothing-
David. Okay, just one. If I can just get one coffee grande, that's all I need. Okay, that's all I need.
Nothing.
Now I'm just egged on to. Are you sure you
Yeah.
want to?
No, oh
No, my
doing it again.
favorite.
Sleepy baby.
You want it again? No.
Oh my god.
My favorite David coffee story is when we were at a show and our handler texted me. No, our handler texted us in a group asking our coffee orders, and David responded, "One coffee I can pour down the sink, please."
That's funny.
David's expressions
no,
it's funny. It's funny up
accentuating,
until you
like,
realize
humor.
that I don't like anything, and then this is just how I talk about
Wait,
it.
is that all the coffee? Is Mike's getting
No,
all
if
the
you can mix it
coffee?
more
So
funny.
one hot coffee, nothing in
No.
it. Right.
Mikey.
All right.
Just the small.
Michael.
I don't want to be judged by David.
I'm not judging anyone. I already don't like.
He's doing it right now.
I already know I don't like anything that you like, any of you. So it doesn't matter.
Hey, we like The Witcher.
Hey,
One
I like frozen,
I don't-
delicious meals.
They're not that delicious.
Oh, I thought you were giving me your coffee order. It's like one frozen, delicious coffee coming right up.
The small cold brew, no ice. So it's
Small-
like, I guess that's more like a lukewarm.
Okay,
or
small
whatever.
cold brew, no ice. Okay,
Oh my.
that good?
People liking the same. People liking different things doesn't ever play a role in any of my day-to-day life ever.
Okay,
But it is
cool.
funny right now because. because
I invited David to go see Isle of Dogs.
I mean, I'm still gonna say.
and he told me I'm not going to see that movie because I don't like dogs. And this is a movie by one of his favorite directors.
And I hear it's one of his best.
Is it?
Yeah, it's right here from people I don't trust anymore.
Nothing
but
will. No.
I might not
That's
see it
okay.
actually today, but
I don't like
I'll
dogs.
go. I'll go see
Right.
it with you, Bunny. All right.
I mean,
got-
I'll,
I got-
I'll,
Judgy. No,
I'll
I'm
pet a
kidding.
dog, but it doesn't mean that I won't be thinking, man, I don't
got
don't
that
have a
See,
dog.
pass
the
thing,
internet
so
deals
now
in
I'm like-
absolutes.
Yeah,
It's
absolutes.
very I'm a cat person. I'm not a dog person. I'm not looking to own another dog anytime soon. And I posted fans have realized that, and I posted a picture of my friend's puppy on Instagram, and like someone was like, I thought you didn't like dogs. I was
Yeah, it's like-
you ruin their world.
there is no like there is no gray area anywhere on the internet.
It's okay. You
Like,
can not own a dog.
I
and
think I like
still
short circuited their
think that
brain
dogs are
because
cute.
like I
It's
don't
cool.
like dogs and I thought this puppy was cute.
It's
like,
see when I'm not a dog person, but it's not like I can't appreciate a
I'm-
dog. It's just
it's not blacks and whites. It's like
like,
I'm not allowed to post
when-
dogs
when
because I
see a
don't want to
cat,
own one.
I get this like maternal feeling. When I see a dog, I don't get that feeling.
Fair enough.
It's weird, and it's just the same for dog people. They feel that with dogs, but they don't always
Yeah.
feel it with cats.
When I see a cat, I get a little hungry. And when I see a dog, I feel a little full because they're a little bit bigger.
it's just natural.
Who is that joke for?
That was for me and me alone, David. not all jokes are for people, all right? Sometimes just to make yourself laugh.
So this project that we're gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
coughing up for.
Coughing up for?
Here it go.
What were you thinking about for the last 10 minutes?
No, I was thinking about how, all the dogs that I didn't hate. I was gonna say like corgis.
Well, I mean,
corgis are pretty
should we
good.
just
I
have
don't
an
hate
episode?
corgis.
We should just do an episode in the future where we just talk about everything we don't like. Because you know
Okay.
what?
I'm there.
Everyone,
I'm there.
Everyone would have more things they don't like than they
Hey,
do like.
hey,
Actually,
here's something
I
here's-
think I like almost everything.
Here's something I don't like that a
What
lot
if
of people don't understand. Sesame seeds. Do you like
don't
sesame
like
seeds?
I
sesame
don't not
seeds?
like them.
See, I
but
wish
I'm never
you'd be
gonna
on
like,
my side.
I'm not gonna be like
and just hate
add them to
sesame
my.
seeds.
You
add them
don't
to my
like sesame
sandwich.
seeds?
I don't like them.
But they're
I'll
so
deal with
nutty
them.
and delicious
I'll
and
deal with
toasty.
them in sushi and ramen. I'll deal with them. But like as a kid, I hated them for
Yeah.
some
But
reason.
they're like
I didn't like
nothing.
lima
Yeah.
beans as a kid.
No, but they're like
That's kind of
seeds.
a
It's like
stereotype.
seeds all your. I don't like it.
I
don't
like
Do you not
their-
like pulpy orange juice either?
No, I like pulpy oranges.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We're gonna
I like
figure out.
sesame seeds are like-
Whoa, conundrum.
But sesame bagels are like the best.
Oh, gross.
Do you think
Yes.
like when
Yeah.
you know
They're
like
toasty.
we probably each have like fans who are like that's my favorite member, that's my favorite. But when they learn that they don't,
Oh, yeah.
we don't like pulpy orange juice, you're like I can't listen to them anymore.
Yeah, these are like sesame seeds. Oh, what a weirdo.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
don't worry. I've been unfollowed
yeah.
by
Me
people
too.
because of things I've said.
David
Like,
used to be my
yeah.
favorite member, but
And then he said he did
didn't
a
like-
joke about not liking dogs, and no, literally, I get swear word. I posted that too. Like someone will say "f you,"
Yeah.
like and your stupid, like, and I'm like, what? Like,
Look, sometimes you just gotta like show your face on the internet, and someone's like, "Yeah, that guy. I don't like
Well,
that guy."
I don't think. I don't.
We did we were podcasting like makeup. And Mike, I was on there for like 2 seconds, and then somebody said something like super racist, and I was like,
Oh
"Come on,
my
guys!
God.
Like, we just got here.
Yeah.
Were you waiting? Were you waiting in the darkness?
Jeez.
There he
Yeah.
is. Get you now. No, I got your attention.
So this
Yeah.
project that
no one cares about the project. Let's talk about no.
so we're actually we're doing a new podcast. It's called
We thought we're so on top of this one. Why don't we start another?
This one's going to be called Things That David Doesn't Like.
Yeah,
And it's mostly David. But the rest of us will be editing it while he's doing it. We won't actually be guests on it, but we're going to be adding in sound effects and like...
Bull. When have any of you ever edited anything? It's always me.
Yeah, but we're gonna do all the sound.
kidding,
And
I'm
all the
just
sounds. All the sounds are gonna be this.
There's been a few times where Bunny's edited stuff. And well, here I am on my show, and these are things I don't like. Why would I be using the
Isle of Dogs? More like...
I'm sure it's a good movie. That's all I have to say about it. I'm not going to go to the theater to see the movie, but I'll watch it when it comes to video. And I'll be like, every time there's a dog joke that's for dog owners, I'll be like,
Wait.
not a dog owner, not for me.
Yeah, but what if it's not? What if there's no dog jokes about dog owners?
Can we talk about when I took David to see a ballet a couple weeks ago, and the dogs that came out for 5 seconds got a bigger applause than the lead?
Oh, of course. Don't do a show with dogs or kids.
Yeah, for real. They wanted to spice things up because it's like 12th century Germany, a hunting party coming through the village, and we had two big Borzois come in, and the audience
Standing ovation.
the audience went nuts.
They just walked on stage. They didn't know they're on a play.
I did a
or
show.
a ballet.
So
and then the lead came out, and it was like
Those precious dogs.
You human.
I was like, oh my god, this is so sad.
I did a show with kittens once. Like
Oh,
kittens.
what? That's
Even
like
I
a-
would have been giving them a
Oh
raise.
my!
Yeah.
Everyone was. Even I did. I was like, hey, you
Now
guys
see,
did a
if
great
they had
job today.
brought kittens out in this hunting party,
I would have been right on board.
then I
with
would
the
have been
audience.
like,
I would have
yeah.
felt connected to the world,
I would
but
have been
I'm
like,
not.
I
A
A lot of
understand.
kittens on those hunting
Yeah.
Kittens are
parties.
awesome because they don't care. So it's like
Yeah.
they add dogs just do exactly what you're like. Oh yeah, I'm a dog. Yeah, I'm over here, and I'm gonna go downstairs. Every once in a while they'll like get distracted, but a cat like they're distracted the whole time. So
Yeah.
it's just like you have to deal with them for the whole show. You're just
Yeah.
like okay,
They don't give a
oh,
crap.
all right. It's just like and it just makes every show so much better.
You know what I
With-
don't
yeah.
like
Next,
with
next show you don't like, just throw a cat at them.
So how much attention did you not get with the kittens on stage?
I got all the attention, okay? I don't care about kids. I don't care about cats. I'm a large black man with a big voice. And I get attention.
So you
like,
upstaged those
anything
kittens.
I do, I'm just very loud. Like, I'm a very loud individual. It's all right. I'm not worried about being upstaged or anything. Very big. I don't know if you know this about me.
I just
Well, the
imagine
rest
all
of
these
us need a
kittens
bunch of
crawling
cats.
over you while you're projecting your Shakespeare line.
Yeah, what if you had, what if
I'd
you
like
had
an
kittens
accordion.
on your shoulders?
Oh, it'll be tremendous. Tremendous feat for all of the arts. I don't know.
There's like this thing in movies and like TV shows where it's like, why is it that dogs are always the good pet and cats are always evil?
Yeah,
Even
when
as recently as A
It's-
Secret Life of Pets, it's like cats are always the butt of the jokes. They're always
It's
the stupidest
because
animal.
dogs were bred to be really dumb.
Well, I mean,
so that
it's just
they
the
would,
pack mentality
like,
with,
like
it's not the same with felines.
Well, that's why are they the butt of
cats
jokes?
don't
Like,
obey us.
that's just like cats are so evil.
Dogs are
like,
loyal.
Because every cat is technically trying to kill you. Like it respects you because you feed it, and it's like, all right, this one's kind of nice. It feeds me, but like, if it had the opportunity to kill you and eat you, it would.
It's
And
just that you're so much
waiting.
bigger.
It's waiting for that opportunity.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, he's going down the stairs. Okay, let me just run on this feet. Oh no, I'm just being cute. That's all. I'm just being cute. You're not being cute. You're trying to trip me down the stairs, cat. I see what you're doing. You're trying to be cute and cuddly, and I get it. But they're the most vicious killers in the world. They just kill for
Spoken
fun.
like a dog.
Hey, I love cats though. I love all animals. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But like, they're like one of the few
Well,
animals that
it's-
just kill for fun. They're
It's
just
not
like, yeah,
a-
I'm just
it's
killing
not-
it. Like,
It's not an
check it
animal
out.
problem. It's the people who are personifying the animals in a certain way.
I'm just saying, like, it was
Like
like, what was it, like cats versus dogs, and the cats were like this evil organization, and like,
Yeah.
I
Hey,
don't know.
but in Egypt, they love cats.
Yeah,
I was
I mean,
gonna
I know
say,
dogs.
what about that evolutionary theory, or I don't know how much of a theory it is, but that like cats meows, domesticated cats meows have evolved because they were mimicking human babies to get our sympathy.
What did they used to sound like?
I mean,
I
they
mean, look
meow
at
in the
lions.
wild too, but like domestic cats, have that really little mew, and like
Oh, they know what
I guess
they're doing.
that's a theory that they began by mimicking human babies because they knew that they would get.
What
more
about that
attention.
theory when a cat's like, when you're on your bed and a cat comes up and like perches on your stomach and it's like sucking your soul out? Like, do you think there's any validity in that?
No, that's very true.
I think that's pretty true.
Very, very true.
You don't want to let a cat sit on your stomach, otherwise.
You have a really cute cat.
Yeah, Sandwiches is adorable. She's really.
Yeah.
She's everything. Every little thing she does is magic. She's just
No.
amazing.
Stop. Now we have to pay royalties.
No, I
Wait.
didn't
Oh,
finish
this
it.
project that we're working on.
You
It's
still
not
haven't talked
David's
about your project.
So yeah, we're so upped with the Bennettarium, and it's so popular. We thought we need to do another one, another podcast.
No, we're gonna.
No.
What we decided
It's
was
not a podcast.
let's take the best
David.
parts of the Bennettarium and just do a podcast based on that.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing is the steam-powered giraffe radio adventures.
So for all of you who don't like hearing us bitch and moan about, or you don't like me bitching, well, I mean, we all have our own
No, I bitch
traits.
and moan.
Well, now we got to censor this thing.
Let's all say one thing that we dislike.
It's impossible. I have so much.
What?
I dislike rude people. See, it's like we all have something.
Oh, wow.
No, does that make us bad people? No.
No.
Like, I think I'm perfectly valid and not enjoying rude
I
people.
dislike the way that pickles squeak on windows. That's very disturbing.
David, what is your
That is
my
disturbing.
one thing out of everything? That's
Yeah.
impossible.
What is it? Does it have to do with
Don't act
pickles?
like you don't dislike things as much as
Do
I
you-
do.
do you
I'm
also
just,
not
I'm just
like-
not tainted by the candy-colored world you all live in.
Do you hate candy coated things?
No.
Oh, well, there you go. There's one thing you don't like. Wait, you do like?
I hate food fads that only exist to be Instagrammed, like giant pieces of cake on top of cups.
Oh yeah.
Is that a new
I
fad?
didn't
Do I need
even
to
know
start
there was a
posting
thing.
about that before it falls out of fashion?
Like things that like look like you can't. It's like dripping rainbow whipped cream, and I'm just like, how do you eat this? It just exists to be Instagrammed.
Yeah, it's just kind of like putting your McDonald's hamburger on the cup that the kids were doing.
Now that, yeah.
That makes sense, though.
I have one pet peeve, and it's when things are rolling around on the floor or the dashboard while I'm driving.
Why do you...
Rolling or sliding.
And you can hear it.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I just cannot stand. I really hate it. Truly hate
I
it.
can solve a lot of Mike's problems.
Wait, when I was a kid, I watched this video of some lady. It wasn't a video; it was like a reenactment of like what happened. And there was like a cantaloupe bouncing around in her car, just like you're saying, and it bounced underneath her brake, so she couldn't put her brake down,
No.
and she just like drove through a store. And ever since that day, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Keep
like
everything off the floor.
Get it off the floor. You're gonna go to the brake. We're gonna go right
was
to the
that
floor.
did they record that? Like, when it
No,
actually
it's
happened?
like that's what happened. So like after it happened, they like looked like, oh, it's cantaloupe under your brake. That's why you couldn't brake. And then they did like a reenactment on the news to like scare you more. Like here's what she looked like right before she hit the. Then this looked like after. Like,
It was like dark dramatic lighting.
yeah, totally. Those were my parents loved that kind of stuff. So
It was like Unsolved Mysteries back in the early days.
Yeah.
When they didn't have a lot
Unsolved Mysteries. Oh, we solved it. It was a cantaloupe. You know. That's pretty much
So your parents like sensationalism?
yes.
of... Doesn't everyone?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean,
You-
I guess.
your
I think
parents-
humans are just
You already
naturally
picked your
trying
one
to be
thing
a-
that you didn't like.
What? Which one was that? What was that?
Oh, it was dogs, right?
I didn't say nothing.
Yeah. My parents love crime shows.
Crime
Well, my
shows.
mom specifically.
Like,
she loves the mystery of
Unsolved murders.
Oh, yeah,
mystery-
she loves-
Oh, I
she
used,
loves
I used to
I've
watch
been
that
meaning to
before.
pick
I
up
loved it.
Forensic
It was
Files.
not good.
Oh, forensic
Isn't that
files.
that's like all in Netflix?
That's their
right?
show. Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
every night, some Forensic Files, and I'd be like, "Well, I feel like I'm learning too much about."
And then at the end, when they're like, "And thanks to viewers like you, we caught him," and you're like, "Yeah."
yes,
Yeah.
we did it. Way to go, guys.
Even though I'm watching this 20 years after it aired.
But then it's
Yeah,
like,
sometimes they do update episodes.
oh my
They like
gosh.
update the cases.
And then
right?
where it's just like it like fades in at the end of the episode and it's all creepy like
And they never found
still at large and you're,
he's
you're like
probably under your
well
base.
I guess that's it for my viewing tonight. Time to go to bed.
Yeah.
And the guy's just at your window, like. Isn't that like the creepiest thing? Like someone just at your window. Like that's what I always imagine.
I
Like
hate
just
that.
in the
Oh my
cracks,
gosh.
like it just eyes just like.
I used to have this reoccurring nightmare. This reoccurring
Wait,
nightmare
wait,
that
can I before you say it, just so I know, just so people know how much we know each other.
Okay.
Was it Big Bird like pulling down the blinds?
Yes.
But then you're like, how would he smash through the window?
He doesn't need to. He's more powerful than that.
Because
So, Big Bird-
when you told
Big
me
Bird
that
would
as
be
a
so
kid, it's
creepy.
the only thing that I could think about to be afraid of too. Because then
Oh
I'm like,
my
I didn't have that.
God.
I didn't have that in my
Yeah.
head. But now if you just imagine your mini blinds and then like his hands.
Do you have a big bird phobia now?
No, but
Okay.
oh,
But wouldn't that
gosh.
be scary in any
Yeah,
context?
it'd be terrifying.
When I was a kid, like I mean, you would go to bed after watching these like specials on Fox or something like the moon landing was fake, and that wasn't as scary, but it was still like there's like how the world's gonna end with asteroids. And when I was a kid, I swear I was so terrified that an asteroid was
Asteroids? Yes, I had that fear too.
was gonna come through my.
Oh, not that. Sorry.
Just kidding. I was so afraid of
Well,
like
not that.
we're gonna die now. Now that I have this information in my head,
No,
it's gonna happen.
What am I gonna do with this?
It's fine.
It's gonna happen now.
Oh my god.
And it's been like
I
like
was-
20 something years
It
now,
never-
and
no,
it hasn't
no,
happened.
that's
But you know
I
what?
was scared. I can't say crapless. When I was a kid, I was scared poopless by those shows talking about
bowelless.
asteroids. I was
See,
really?
terrified of asteroids
Whoa,
hitting the
weird.
Earth.
See, when you say it like that,
Also
it
cool.
doesn't sound like you vacated your bowels. It sounds like you're just scared while you don't have any poop inside you, which is not as
Yeah.
doesn't really drive the point home.
Mine was the wolf from the Never-Ending Story with like the flashlight eyes.
I don't remember that.
Wait, not the big dragon, but
no,
the
dragon
wolf.
was cool. The wolf.
What was his name? Falcor?
Yeah, the dragon was awesome. What do you mean? The thing was the
I mean,
Falcon was so
I
dope.
feel like he was scarier looking
Yeah,
than
but he
the
was.
wolf.
Yeah, but he was like, "Hey, buddy," you know, that's not scary. And one of the songs like, "Hey, buddy, you want a kid on my back?" Like that's not scary. But the wolf, they had like the glowing eyes, and you would just see the eyes and the teeth, and he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna get you." Like I'm.
Is that how he sound like?
Like the whole time he's like talking about how he's gonna eat him. He's like, "I'm gonna eat him."
I don't remember
Like,
this.
I'm gonna hunt him down, and then
look
he
this-
hunts him down later, and you just see it's like there's like just scenes of him like running in the what you know what he's like just running through the jungle like I'm gonna get him until he finally like reach and like you look at it now and it's like a really stupid puppet, but like that was scary and he had glowing eyes and like I always imagine that like glowing eyes coming out like
Oh
the
my
closet. Like,
god! Wait, talking
you
about
know.
eyes that terrified me as a kid. I had to vacate the room every time the end of Roger Rabbit came on.
Oh, yes. Oh, I love that. Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah,
Lloyd's so
that high
good.
pitched voice. I
Yeah.
remember like having to turn away from the TV.
Oh,
I
it
like
was
couldn't even
creepy.
stand the
Oh,
look at
the
it.
That's like my
dog,
favorite
the
movie.
dog on Duck Hunt when he came up. As a kid, it was so scary.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's creepy.
What's that?
I used to be
Oh, well,
afraid
that-
of
that
the
solves
people that were
it.
sleeping, just dying in their sleep.
Yeah.
That's the best way to go, though. I wouldn't be afraid of that.
So I'd like bother
It's
my
just
parents,
nothing
like
but
they'd
dreams.
wake up with me like listening to their breathing. And I'd be
Yeah.
Oh, you're afraid of other people dying.
I did that.
I did that when I was a
I
kid.
did
The
that.
worst,
Yeah, it's. I had a lot of fears as
I
a
bet
child.
your parents were mad at you often. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
they're patient.
So wait, going
Every
back
every
on the,
night, you're like, "Yeah, sure." you're alive. Yes, we're alive.
on like
sleeping.
meteors and stuff destroying the whole world. Like now, don't you kind of welcome it? Don't you just, I mean,
come
I have
on.
like in
You
the back
know,
of my head,
guys?
I'm like, you know what? Like, 'cause
No,
there's
I
always part of
don't.
me like when I'm doing all the work and stuff, and I'm like, you know, if nuclear winter happened, I wouldn't have to care about any of this.
Yeah. Well, it'd be
Some part of me is like,
like a big natural disaster could be a lot of worse ways to die, you know. But if a meteor just came down and like struck down your building, like cool, that'd be so awesome.
You
Like,
would want to be at ground zero though. Like
You'd
you
wanna be
don't
at ground
want to
zero.
be.
yeah, you don't want to be anywhere near.
It's
Like
not-
you just want to be done.
well,
But like,
yeah.
you
yes,
don't want to be
know,
the one.
that's
You don't want to have
cool.
to survive for 10 more years.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if something like that
Underground.
happens, like I mean, we have like those, we have natural disasters that affect like large areas, but nothing that's like
Yeah, no,
a global
Could be worse.
catastrophe.
And then like you know, you be like, that's how'd you die? Oh, meteor. You know, 'cause
Well,
you'd
now
be
that-
having those conversations.
But now that I've said that, we should just make sure everyone's aware that I know that it would be terrible.
it would be. And
I'm just saying, like, doesn't
part
part
Don't
of
you
your brain.
just kind of
We-
welcome death?
we were just talking about
Just like all this stuff,
internet.
like getting
internet
up and
doesn't
putting on your shoes,
understand
it's just-
irony or hyperbole.
I'm just too much.
So we gotta make sure everyone knows that you don't
anytime things
actually
get too
want an
stressful, you're
asteroid
like,
to hit
man,
the
if
Earth.
only then I wouldn't have to do these. I wouldn't have to put the show together.
It's like, sorry,
Do
there's
this other
kaiju
thing.
outside the window. Can't go and work
Well,
today.
it would change your perspective. It'd be like, now I don't have any commitments. I don't have to go to
What was
go
the,
to work.
What was the
See,
real important thing?
I just wish, and times like that, I just wish I could like freeze time, but like I wouldn't age. You know, it's like sometimes you just need like a moment, like all right, I'll do that in like a week, and just freeze time.
Yeah.
And like you just chill. And like a week later, you come back, you're like, oh, I'm refreshed and I feel amazing. We can do whatever
and
you
then
want.
time catches up with you, and you're like, ah!
Yeah. 3 years
You
later,
have all
you're
your bowel
like,
movements and
"Happy."
stuff. Just like it all catches up with you right then and there,
He's only 32.
and you just poop your pants. It's like a torrent that comes out of every orifice.
Your skin just melts.
But it was worth it.
It hasn't been so long.
So SPG Radio Adventures, we kind of.
It's taking an entire hour to announce this project.
So
Good.
what it's going to be is
Podcast is over
basically
15 minutes. No, I'm just kidding.
it's going to be like cartoon, but without a cartoon. Like it's our way to like
with your imagination.
It won't be like Dungeons and Dragons kind of or whatever the role playing that we kind of did on the podcast, but it'll be similar in the way that we will be our characters,
and it will be edited
a little bit.
A little bit. So it's
Yeah,
not.
this
We're not
won't
going
be
to do it
live.
live.
We'll find out the specifics when we actually have the first episode, but
Yeah.
that'll be something to look forward to if you
Yeah.
don't care about us and you care more about the robots.
It'll be robot spectacular.
Actually, I had someone who I said like, "Hey, what's the feedback on the?" I've been doing these Twitch streams as Rabbit, but not in makeup, just with like a little avatar that looks like me or it looks like Rabbit. And I asked like, "Hey, what do you guys think of the Rabbit streams?" And someone actually said like, "I actually prefer just seeing you."
Well, I mean, I guess
And I was
if
like,
someone's
"Oh,
if someone's
cool."
subscribed to your
I'm-
channel, that's
I'm
probably what
not,
they want.
I'm not gonna pay attention to that person. Everyone else is right. Everyone's like,
No,
more
yeah, yeah.
Rabbit, more
Yeah, yeah.
rabbits.
Yeah, I've noticed that people there's like it's usually people are more interested in the people behind the characters, or they're interested in the characters generally,
It's
and then
like
the
one or
super
the
fans
other.
want both, you know. But
And the ones who and most people aren't vocal about stuff. You know, the people who are vocal are a very small minority, even though it can feel like a cacophony. Yeah, but most people, just like me, when I'm a fan of something, I don't go and talk to the creators. I don't go and send a message to them.
Sure.
I just enjoy it, and that's it.
I think people want more. It's time for more like how many of you like fishing jokes and quesadillas, and I think
Ooh.
we're gonna with the new podcast we can do that. One of the critiques that someone said like I wish Rabbit would stutter more. And I'm like, you're right. Like I need to like I when I'm like streaming video games, I have to like remember to put that in more. So I think on this next when we record, I'm gonna be like
The whole time just malfunctioning.
rabbits. Let's go on an adventure. Shave it a haircut.
I love that movie so much.
I like how some of these you've obviously been thinking about for like 10 minutes. You're
No,
like,
I haven't.
I'm
This is
gonna
off the
stick-
cuff.
I'm gonna stick this in there somewhere.
I'm not. I haven't been
Coming in.
thinking about this.
I know about your
I'm
big
just
bird phobia,
funny.
so I know about
I'm just naturally
No,
funny.
you have to be down here on the regular level with me.
Okay.
Brian's the star of the show.
Look, I'll show you a star. Tortoise. Wait, I'm gonna stop.
No one can match Brian's off-the-cuff nature. He's doing funny things right now, and you can't even see it.
Well, if you could, you'd see him biting the microphone.
So everyone asks, like, what was he doing that was so funny? And everyone that watched it will know.
it's okay. It was funny for a second. It'll be funnier on Instagram.
But see, he just keeps going for it, and then it gets funnier.
So wait, let's just dissect Brian. Like, why do you feel a need to be funny all the time?
Is it because you hurt inside?
Follow my Instagram for exclusive content.
So
Behind
so
the-
are you? Do
exclusive
you hurt
behind
a
the
lot?
scenes.
Is there like an internal struggle?
Hi.
Because I know why Sam needed to be funny all the time.
Why? What is it?
He said that he felt his siblings and his mom, since they were all females and he didn't have any other men in the family, didn't have a father and stuff, growing up, like that he felt like he had to entertain them, and so he got stuck in that, and so he's not funny on stage, but no, I'm just kidding. But in person he's like
very
hilarious.
funny on stage. He was very funny on stage.
But you know what I mean? It's a different
Yeah.
type of humor. He's always there to entertain
Yeah.
someone. So
I don't
what's your
know.
story?
I think I'd rather not talk about real things and just like whatever's entertaining my brain. I feel like I'd rather talk about or rather do. So that's kind of where I'm at. You know, the people that talk about their lives, like I don't know much about you because I don't talk about myself because that's stupid. You know, but I'd rather, like, I'm not very good on one-on-one conversations sometimes, but like group conversations is great because I can just pick out something stupid that someone else said, and then my brain will just go off on a tangent because that's what my brain does.
What happened to your...
It fell off, but it's also like it's kind of flexible now. and
Wait,
it
is that
totally works.
is that a steam powered giraffe pop
Used to
socket?
be
People listening to the
Alright.
podcast are like,
Beep,
what?
beep,
Wait,
beep,
what
beep.
fell off?
my pop socket popped its socket, but now I just got the socket part of it, and it's kind of like it works. You know, sometimes it works. Sometimes it falls over, but like for the most part.
That's not a our pop sockets there's the same pop sockets that you'd get anywhere else, so it's not a build quality.
Oh,
issue.
dude, and also I got a fidget with stuff like rabbit over here, like so like this is
Buddy?
the
More
fact
than
that-
just my character, okay?
No, you're not. All right. So that's what I do, man. I gotta fidget with things. So like things break a lot. I break a lot of things.
So so is that why you're funny all the time?
To hide the pain.
yeah, because I feel pain a lot. So no, I'm kidding. I don't know. Things are funny, man.
I don't know.
If things are funny, I'm gonna say them most of the time.
Well, it's definitely infectious.
As long as it's not like a punch down, then we're cool, you know. Because I do think a lot of punch downs, you know, but you have to.
Well,
It's
they're
like-
the easiest jokes.
Yeah, they're the easiest, but you don't like. I don't want to dig on. I wouldn't dig on them. Like I wouldn't be like, all right, here, let's go punch down this guy all the time. But like, if something's funny, like let's all laugh about it because that's funny as well. Shut up.
And me over here wishing meteors would strike the earth.
What's the group consensus here about humor and using humor on topics that are usually taboo or off the table, and if that's ever okay to do, or if it's good to do it to kind of like release the tension, or if it's not okay to do with some topics, you know.
That's tough because we live in a society where something could offend you because it's part of who you are.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is based on where we are in society and what year it is. Because, like, you know, when I hear, but do we need to, we don't need to spark any arguments, but when you hear someone like Dave Chappelle make fun of, like, transgender people, it's like, it feels wrong because, like, I don't get offended, but I'm like, but, you know, people are going through that. But I don't get personally offended, but.
Well, it's also
just
like,
so-
is
Offended on their behalf.
publicly, like, perhaps you know, you're more conscious about what you say, but with your friends and stuff, like, you feel like you can say whatever you
Yeah,
want,
yeah.
and I'm sure a lot of that comes from, it's like, oh, we were joking
But it's like,
about
I
this
feel
or
like
that, and it felt okay,
Yeah.
There-
but
when
publicly, it's not gonna have the same effect.
Yeah.
if you know the context and you know, like, oh, well, this person obviously supports those people.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
if
yeah.
you don't get that feeling from the joke, you're like, it's just a way for them to say, hey, I'm not okay with this.
Word. Well, and I think it all depends on the joke. Like I said, like if it's punching down, if we're punching down, like that's not what comedy is. That's bullying, you know. But if we're just talking about a subject, and people need to be more open with this because. Sometimes when a subject pops up, it's immediately like, no, you can't talk about that, and that's not fair. I'm sorry, that's not fair. Like that's not fair to people who have lived on this earth for so long. Like you know, like black folks, like we ain't never had a like it never been an off limits to talk about us. Like you talk about us all the time, you know. But we need to be able to talk about situations, even if they're hard. And humor is one of the few ways that we can actually do that. You know, if you have an insightful way to look at a situation, then yeah, let's bring it up. But if we're just like knocking down for no reason, that's not what comedy is, and that's not what it's for. Mm-hmm. It's for uplifting people and shining a new light on a situation that you might not have seen if you're just thinking hard on it. You know, you're just thinking how you feel and how, you know, if you really look at a situation, and this is weird, but you know, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, they used to do that a lot back in the day, where they take both sides of a situation and just show you how stupid they both are, and then look at yourself. You know, look at why you're really upset about this, or why you really looking at that. And humor has a really good way of doing that if it's done right. Yeah.
But I feel a lot of people, they're not really thinking about that. They're thinking about the here and now of like,
oh yeah, for sure.
But intent is everything. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, and if someone comes out and like, oh no, I messed up. I made it seem like I was not okay with something.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, whatever. Then maybe you should have just added that into the end of your joke.
Totally. Yeah.
You
But-
see a lot of like older comedians complain that because of the new generation they can't, you know, they can't put their work out there, and I'm like, well, I mean, no, you're not being stifled. You're just mad because you can't be mean anymore.
Well, it's the same thing of like, you know, I can't say I don't dislike dogs jokingly, and I didn't have a big following, you know.
Exactly,
like I think it's just the way the internet is, but
and it's and it's kind of an over conversation for like what's been going on. Like, and I get that. Like we need it's good to kind of put a hard stop on things, and I feel like after a little while, once we get kind of comfortable with what's going on, we're gonna be able to start bringing that kind of humor back. But
it's a transition period right now.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who have been hurt for so many years, and it's like, all right, cool. Now we stop that. All right, we stop doing that kind of stuff because we understand how people feel, and it's not just one person's voice being heard right now saying, get over it. You know, get over it. It's like, no, that's not. It's not cool to jokes like that sometimes.
So like you can't expect the pendulum swing to stop right in the middle.
Exactly.
It's going to have this
swing.
effect,
Yeah.
and then maybe finally find a point down.
Totally.
I always think of all these social, you know, domino effects and things being very closely tied to the big picture of the fact that we're not as evolved as we like to think we are.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're actually still learning how to have empathy for other people.
Word, and that's
It's
so important.
crazy that when you
Empathy.
realize how like far we still have to go.
You definitely see it swing in both directions. I think especially in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some radicalness on every issue, and we're all kind of left scratching our heads like, how did it get here? Why is it like, how does the bad get so bad, and how does, I don't know. It just feels like you have to have the radical sides before you can get the nice medium.
Totally.
Yeah.
Has the SPG fans been receptive to maybe some of the darker humor that has popped up in its history?
I mean, that's tough though, because some people when they start with the band are a little younger, maybe high school, maybe early college, and then if we go 10 years, then they might be a different person at the end of it. And it's not to say that we change them or something, or that they don't like us after the fact, or they like us when they're older. Like, I think it's just based on that we're also a product of society, and I mean, we try to put out the messages that we think are okay to put out there and are positive. But
Like what's an example of some of our darker humor? I feel like we try to restrain a little
when
bit.
that one
The
live
media?
stream where someone complained about that we were there's so much picking on Zero. It was and then,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, but
yeah.
like it's a humor style, and I get it. It's like I was a new character, so it's like why? Well, why is that? But it's like that's that's part of comedy. Comedy is
Yeah.
about that. Kind of,
Well, and
it's
it
about
just kind of
failure and
evolved
to
naturally.
acceptance. Yeah, exactly.
It's also like whatever happens organically. I know like the original concept for Zero is that he was going to be like the cool guy.
that we were going to be the
And, like,
butts of all the
that's-
jokes, that we just couldn't be as cool as
Like,
Zero.
I just showed up and bored you. Oh, what a bunch of losers! What a stupid band this is. Hey, it's Zero time over here. Yeah, who wants to boogie down with Zero? Like, what? That would be the worst.
but also I think maybe someone who watched that doesn't see where we were going with that, with those kind of shows. And when you first joined, was like there's always that bit with Bebop, kind of like what Hatchworth had.
Yeah.
But it was like, and then the tables get turned at the end of the show.
Yeah.
There's also a joke. I mean, we used to have this joke where something about this handshake or something, or that it was just like you had too much of a grip and it set off an atomic
that's
bomb.
right. We would like blow. Yeah, someone like blew up.
Oh,
Like it was
yeah.
just it would cut to this stock footage of like, and we thought it was hilarious, but then either it preceded. It wasn't close to it. It was just in the same set. We play our Steam Powered Giraffe reprise, which is Japanese anime inspired.
No,
kinda.
yeah,
And
it was
someone pointed
the
out.
bit came after the Japanese song.
Yeah, they weren't offended, but they said like I saw that and like
Just so you know,
they're
this
like,
might,
just so you know, this might be
people
an
might
issue.
make a connection.
And of course
or
we didn't,
even
because they
new
were so
one.
separated in the
Yeah,
set.
yeah,
We were
yeah.
like, we didn't even think about it.
But that's the kind of stuff I think we're
Right.
constantly like who can we have in this bit? It's like who can get punched in the face? Well, it can't be Rabbit because she's trans, and it's like if it's Zero, I mean that might be a problem. Like
Not for this bit, but I
pretty
feel
much.
like in the next bit we
Oh
get punched
yeah, that's right.
I was like,
No,
we
that
did
you
stuff
you
like
guys
that,
used to
yeah.
have a bit like before AEH where you changed it to Hatchworth instead of Rabbit getting punched.
There was a lot
in
of
the
things.
face
There was-
because after the transition, you were worried people wouldn't like that, right?
There was also a joke about like a drill up the butt, and it's like suddenly when I changed genders, we realized
Oh.
how you can't even put that on a male, or if it just kind of doesn't
Yeah.
work at all. It's like, oh, this is kind of inappropriate humor. It's like, it's kind. Where is it funny, and why is that funny? It's not funny because like
Yeah,
a drill up the butt is
a lot of
like.
stuff changes.
Yeah, it's like in this day and age, it's like, well, okay, actually, like it can't go either way. Like it's just not funny anymore, I
Yeah.
guess. Unless it's like a super like straight man it's like trying to
Yeah.
like bring him down, but it's like that's not the nature of our act. So it's
Yeah,
like
and this is a doctor who is very serious, and he's going to do a sport, and then right at the end of his spiel, he pulls out a drill. All right, so I'm just gonna go in here. No, then it's funny, but that's
Yeah.
it. That's the
Well,
only
we just-
scenario.
I think we went away from all that somehow. We did
funny.
something different, or I know we gave it to
Oh,
Hatchworth,
that
and
was-
he just
That was part of one of the Walter Werger bits.
It
And
was,
that,
yeah.
That
Oh, wait.
changed when we got new props.
Because I think
Actually,
Hatchworth did it more as it was pleasurable.
yeah,
which is like
Oh,
yeah, and we were like, well, we can't do that with Rabbit because it's
Right.
like it just
Well, it was Rabbit first, and then we switched you guys so that Hatchworth was at the end of the drill bit.
there was a lot of I don't know. It was
Well, at any
it
rate,
just goes to show you that as things change, like
10 years, we're trying to have our finger on the pulse of life
Yeah,
in
Right.
society.
Yeah, and maybe it's like the point. It's like those older comedians you're talking about. Like
Yeah.
they're not willing to look at it kind of subtle.
Because we're not
Who was the one
sacrificing
I'm trying to-
anything.
I've got one in
by
mind who I
changing
know
stuff
who
like that.
has
They're
complaints
lazy.
about millennials or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name though.
They're lazy comics. It's
Yeah.
it's comics who use the same jokes that everyone else in the world can use.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
like you see, like I heard that joke.
And
I get it.
they can't
Black
make
people
a
talk
career
like
out
this.
of it.
Blah, yeah, black people
Yeah.
talk like I heard that joke before in the
Yeah.
90s a billion times. Like I don't need to hear it anymore. Like I don't need to hear the same like Japanese people talk about it. I don't need to hear that joke anymore. Like I've heard it, and just because you can't use those jokes anymore,
Yeah.
like you're not funny. So maybe you were never funny in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Like maybe you were just an asshole.
Maybe you're just mad because you can't make your career out of being
Yeah.
a lazy
Sa-
comic anymore.
Sarah Silverman had a good interview about that, about being able to change and like what that means as a comedian. And it's like what that means as an artist. Like the times do not stay the same. So like,
Yeah.
are you gonna stay the same? Or are you gonna change with what's going on? Like what are you really feeling? And like how can you adapt? Because that's what art is. Art is being able to adapt to different situations. You know, with different people and still be able to express it and still be able to touch them in a different way. You know.
Definitely agree. I think that's also how we can remain. What's the word?
Relevant.
If we're gonna remain relevant and have longevity in this group, it's like I want to know what kids are into. I want to keep thinking and like back what I thought when I was in my early 20s and something, like what was that? And there's always going to be new 20-year-olds coming out, and what are they into and what's going on with them?
We don't
Like,
necessarily need to be something for when we came of age.
No.
and
Right,
stuff.
no,
Like
it's just-
because there'll always be those people, you know, but we don't
we'll
need
always
to-
have our experience and we'll always build that, but we need to be relevant of what's coming after us
Yeah,
if we
yeah.
want to.
And I think we are, and we're always going to be true to what we want to do. It's like how we really feel. So it's like I feel like just keeping up on that stuff. We will be all right. We'll be okay.
And Radio Adventures.
Well, yeah, I mean, so right. I mean, well, with the humor, like I'm sure we have some dark moments that happen, but like I mean, as long as we're not punching down, right?
But it's
Like,
all love. It's all love. It's not. It's not.
Yeah.
Nobody's really thinking about.
It's
me
gonna be a
as
lot of
a
off the
aggressor.
cuff stuff, so
Yeah.
it's really just
And the spine can take all the brunt of the jokes. I'll be the white man has
The
had it
butt.
too good for too long. So
It
it shouldn't be that way, but
but it will be for at least 5-6 episodes, and then we'll change.
I was gonna say centuries.
it is kind of funny. Like if you look at like cartoons, there is a lot of that, like the butt of the jokes. Like the only one that comes to mind, and it's this controversial cartoon, is the Teen Titans Go, because everyone loves, or our generation likes the old one, and the new one is like really slapstick and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not talking about all that. Like whatever. Like it's just that Robin is the butt of the jokes. He's the tryhard that is always insane, and he just can't get with the flow, and like he's just always the failing character, and it gets kind of tiresome. It's like why do they put up with him? He's the meanest character. He's awful, and it's like everyone else is great and has all these.
Is he supposed to be Damien or?
No, he's I think he's Dick Grayson.
I think he's Dick Grayson.
I think he's like
It's
original Robin.
just the joke. Like he's always
In what? Sorry.
Teen Titans Go.
Teen Titans.
Yeah.
okay.
It wasn't not necessarily the case in the old one.
No.
Everyone kind of shared. Everyone had their own battles they went through. Cyborg went through the
right.
whole thing where it's like he couldn't go beyond his strength. He was like, I could only be this strong. And it's like well, Cyborg, don't be a negative Nancy, whatever. But it's like Starfire went through a thing. But you're right, it is all about Robin just being.
He's a horrible
New
person
one.
in the new one. He's like, why do they put up with him? And I know it's like a slapstick cartoon, but it's like, I definitely don't want that with her. Like, I don't want Spine to turn into the Robin, where it's just like, like
It's nice that how we do that. I mean, sometimes our sets are just smaller, but they get cut or whatever. But usually the show is supposed to be like, there's always like a moment where every robot has.
I was
their
gonna
own
say
their
thing.
I've
Yeah.
been around for about 4 years, and I feel like you guys have a really even balance of making every robot the butt of the jokes. At
everyone
some
gets
point.
to be a butt of the joke.
Everyone gets to be
I mean,
the
the
butt.
10-year anniversary show, it was literally the heroes were the people coming in, and we were the villains.
Yeah.
For
every
one,
time, every time we were just the worst.
yeah, it was like you're
It was
watching the
so
show,
great.
but then the people that left were actually.
Yeah, you're like, I want them back. They were so much nicer. Like,
But I mean-
leave. Now you leave.
But I
and
mean,
get
that's
juice for
just
us.
that's just us getting to the joke before anyone else does.
Yeah, but it's also serving the show. It's
Yeah.
like, it's not you don't always get to be the hero, you don't always get to be the villain. Like we're an ensemble. Like and it's like when people come
Yeah.
on the stage, like, and it's like those people, then been on stage for, some of them for 8 years or something like that. So it's
Yeah.
like, they're the star of the show. You don't bring them on and like now you're the villain who everyone hates.
Exactly.
It's like being able to do that and be able to say, hey, this is your moment. This is
Yeah,
your show.
yeah.
Is a huge thing, and not a lot of people do
Exactly.
that. Not a lot of people can do that.
Yeah.
It's like this is my show, so you're the villain. It's like, no, I thought that was very cool. That we
It was a
could
really
do that.
great dynamic.
Because then they were going off to a better party, and we were just sticking around like, well, I guess we'll play one of ours.
All right,
Exactly,
there was like
exactly.
that one joke that
If you
one
haven't
of
seen
them
the 10-year
said
anniversary
that
show,
like
buy it
I was
now.
expecting the audience to like whoa, but so much was going on that like only one person in the audience caught it,
Yeah.
and I was just like remember hearing one lady go oh.
What joke was it?
Oh, it was the they were,
like we'll see
you
in,
came up with it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think
I thought that
like
was gonna
Aaron,
hit so
like
hard.
like upgrade was
I
like
think it
got-
see you in a year, Zero,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
no one caught it.
Yeah.
It
I
was
think-
it was kind of
Well, 'cause
the
we-
timing of it was
And
off.
that was like, what we were talking about earlier. Is like
But-
we plan all these things out, and then
But it- yeah.
everything, like all the improv was like, I was like, where are you guys going? Like, we talked
Well,
about this. We just
I
did this,
remember,
and it
yeah.
was like all over the place. It was
Because like we all
'cause
thought it
usually
was like really funny,
yeah.
but we were afraid the audience like would think it was
would think it's
mean.
real or something like that. Yeah. But it was really funny.
Well, I mean that's why we gave Sam a lot more of the stuff because he kind of remembers
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
he really nailed it.
So yeah, he
Sam
pretty
was
much he got
really
everything to a
funny.
T. Yeah.
So funny.
At that show.
But the other folks, we didn't give them things that they have to remember and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
But I mean,
You want everyone
it
to
all
be
came
comfortable, too.
together. Yeah,
Exactly.
So
yeah.
it worked. It was fun. I liked
Yeah.
that. There's just as like an alternate. So like Teen Titans Go, there's also like I think a good cartoon, which I think is like still pretty popular, is Adventure Time, where it's like no one's really the butt of the joke. Like everyone gets their moment to shine, and everyone. It's just based on like character development.
Watch
Even
that.
even like the Ice King, who's like he's like the worst. He's like the villain. He's the villain of the character, but you feel for him every once in a while, and then but he's like so funny.
And then he gets like he gets like the best backstory and all
Yeah.
this stuff, and he's
Yeah.
like my favorite character now.
He's amazing, and it's Stephen Kenny, who is my favorite voice actor right now. He's so good.
He's so good.
But yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
Is that
Everyone's
just, like,
got
a
their
different
moment.
approach to the humor of it or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a really it's a feel good
it's a very-
show
yeah.
where it's the characters are just well written
And
like,
it's so funny. It's so funny. And the music in it is incredibly catchy.
I don't know. It's just I love that show.
BMO,
It's-
come on, that's like the
Yeah.
best.
Isn't it ending though? Yeah, but
don't know.
I'm sure he's gonna do another project. I know he's got his hand in his Bravest Warriors, which is still going on. I haven't watched the newest season, but
Also wanted to ask real quick regarding the podcast we're talking about. Is there going to be your original art kind of like on the podcast covers? And stuff
I
like
mean,
that?
I think we have a logo, and that one might be the only one we can do. I mean, I was thinking like, I mean, it'd be so cool to like storyboard some of these or something, but it's never. It's just like
yeah, I mean the
we just
least
don't
that
have
you could do
the-
is episode ones, but most people wouldn't even see those because most podcast things don't update.
But that's
to
the cool thing
the-
about it though. If we have it recorded, it's like we can go back to it
yeah.
later. If we want to
Yeah.
storyboard
Here's
something,
a-
and you want to put it in the comic, you can be like, all right, now we'll
Here's
just
something
take
I-
these pictures. You know.
I actually saw there's a new cartoon. I know David doesn't like it, but I thought it was interesting how they.
Do you even have to say anything?
It's called Final Space, and it's a new show on TBS, and the art style is all right. Like I like this. I like the writing in it. Like it has a lot of tropes in it, but it's also like it's pretty funny. What I thought was interesting is that the guy, his YouTube videos, he's not like the best animator. His whole like pilot and everything was basically just like storyboards. And the characters would just be like standing, and they'd be like,
Oh, yeah.
they just have a couple frames, and it surprisingly works. And I'm like, this is actually like watchable. And I'm like, we could totally do that.
Did
And
you
it's
watch X-Men Legends or something like that? It was on Netflix for a little bit, but that's exactly it was cool. And it was like the future. It was like Beast, Shadowcat. So like some cool people in it, but that's what it was. It was like there were 15-minute episodes, and it was just the comics. So you see the comics, and you have the voice actors do it, but you just see the pictures of it.
I mean,
It
we
was a
talked
really
about
cool
that
way of doing
when
it.
Sam was like a few years when that was a thing with Sam. Like that's how we were planning the pilot of something.
right. Well, I mean, when we talked about our goals of like cartoons, I'm like, well, this is like a smart step in that direction. I mean, even if it is just improv, it's like helping us build character and like finding what works, what people like.
Because right now we have the stage show and it revolves around the robots being on stage, and we don't really have much outside of that. The characters don't exist outside of going to a show, and you know they do, but we don't have the
every once in a while
the experience of
that.
that.
An iPhone video onto Instagram and it gets like 1 million views.
Yeah, I mean we know that it is. It's just it's hard to. There's so much work just to
put in
do the
makeup,
music
do
stuff
all
right
that.
now.
Like,
So just to do the show, so that's why we
I definitely
can't
think
just
a cartoon, whether it be CG or whatever, like it doesn't really matter what the animation is. It's like there's so much good stuff out there now that they could make it. It could be an easily achievable thing if people thought it was funny or someone took a chance on it or something. So I don't know. And if not, this podcast seems like a good idea. Just
if not, it'll be fun to listen
content.
to.
Yeah.
someone 5 people will like it at least.
I dig it. I'm for those 5 people.
So when can most people are probably wondering when do we get to see hear the first episode?
Never.
Well, we're gonna try recording them today, so, or at least 1 or 2, and then we're gonna try to edit them, and we don't know. We don't have a.
We'll see what happens.
But today is the recording day.
It'll probably be like we're not gonna have a schedule for them because just like the Bennettarium, like whatever we're working on that we can't talk to you about.
Unless it becomes like super
is more
popular,
important.
where we're just like, this is what we got to do to make our bread and butter.
No, yeah,
Like,
we'll totally switch gears and we'll stop doing concerts.
we'll just be like, let's just do the
radio
podcast.
show makes you the money.
Yeah, but right now, pretty much nothing makes us money, so that's why the shows a little bit and then an album maybe, but we don't have any of those right now. So, well, no, we have shows, but yeah.
Cool. Any questions before we wrap it up?
Oh, I didn't ask.
No?
The
we don't need
for
no
questions.
Do you have any questions for Michael over here?
Mike was a little. You posed some good questions.
Yeah.
But let's get some of your feedback on what's your favorite dessert.
I'm just in sponge mode right now. I'm finding out how I want to think about things.
I'm not good at asking questions.
Oh,
So
you're
it's
good.
nice having someone
Well,
who
let me
can
say,
pose
I'm just
questions to
listening
the
a lot
All
group.
you gotta
now.
do is take all the shit in your car and put it in your house, and then you won't roll around.
Do we have to censor
I'll
that?
show you my car. There's nothing in it. There's actually you found a Soylent bottle, but it was like tucked under the seat. That's the only reason in there.
Do we have to censor?
That's dangerous.
Do we have to
It could
censor?
have
Yeah,
rolled
no.
out.
Do we have to censor that, or are we good?
No, SHIT is not a swear word anymore.
Oh, okay.
It isn't?
Like
But-
for- we can just say
because
it
I'm
like-
talking about
It's
like
not.
iTunes.
It's not explicit language. It's
Excellent.
according to
Oh, okay.
iTunes.
Why did you spell
So I
it?
could have said
Unless
earlier.
no,
that it's
wait. Unless it's like after. Well, are we going off TV ratings or we're going off? It's just a. There's no rating on a podcast
Yeah.
other than is there negative language.
We all want to say it. Can we all say it? Or?
Nah, but if we say it all the time, then
No,
then
we
it probably
all
would
say
be.
it once.
Yeah.
All say it at the same time. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
Shit.
Potatoes. What? Oh my god! I can't believe you guys said that. Oh my gosh!
I hesitated.
David, did you hear that?
I knew you.
David, did you
I
hear
knew I was
that?
gonna be duped into saying it, so I like held off.
I was
I
talking
didn't
about
say it.
potatoes. I don't know. Wait, you guys.
No.
This is what you just. Isn't that what you just spelled?
I did it.
We can't trust Bunny on the podcast anymore.
Okay, so I guess that about wraps it up for this episode of
Yeah.
the Bennettarium.
Ah, shit.
Wait, Mike can play us out since I don't want to walk in and go get the guitar.
Yeah.
Do we want to? Let's let's Mike.
You could have
Oh yeah.
here.
I'm sorry.
Oh, we'll sing, I guess.
Yeah,
Wait,
sing.
wait, this one.
No, I'll sing in the distance. No, I'll just sing in the distance. No, come on. I'm gonna sing in the distance.
I don't want to sing.
It's a podcast from Steam. Powered Giraffe. It's the Bennettarium. Oh, we talked about lots of stuff. Mostly by Brian ate a microphone on the Bennettarium. Oh, it's a podcast. We'll see you next month on the Bennettarium.
I thought, yeah.
All right, see you
like,
next year when we do the
Never
next
mind.
Way to go, Mike. Oh, my glasses.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone. All right, time for a coffee run.